This is not a casual moment. This is a divine interruption, one that heaven has planned with purpose and urgency. Archangel Michael does not come quietly or with suggestions. He arrives with authority. He clearly states, "This is not a request. This is a summons. You didn't come across this by chance. You were led here, called here, because what you're about to discover will change everything. There is a sacred unveiling happening, and you are at the center of it. Someone close to you, closer than comfort, has not lived up to their promises. And your spirit already understands this. You felt the tug, unrest, and silence between the lines, that strange heaviness that refuses to let go. It isn't anxiety, it's awareness. The divine is shaking your spirit awake. This isn't paranoia. This is a prophecy. And ignoring it now would be like closing your eyes to the very door God has opened to save you. You've been silent for far too long, smiling through discomfort, tolerating what your soul rejected, and burying your knowledge beneath layers of peacekeeping. But heaven has heard the prayers you whispered through clenched teeth, the ones you never dared to say aloud, the cries of the child inside you who wondered, "Is this all there is? Is this what love looks like? Is this how the truth feels?" And now, heaven responds, not with comfort, but with clarity. Without delay, but with urgency. This is your opportunity to see, know, and finally identify the weight you've been carrying. Archangel Michael is moving quickly, not to offer opinions, but to bring the truth to light. Because what was previously hidden is no longer a secret, it is a threat to your future. You see, it's not just about betrayal. This is about purpose. Regarding protection. The deception was more than just emotional, it was spiritual. It was intended to tangle your discernment, drain your power, and divert your attention away from the calling that bears your name. But the plot is unraveling now. Heaven has issued its verdict. The falsehood that masked itself as love, loyalty, and safe space is being ripped apart piece by piece. And whatever lies behind it will no longer be able to hide in your life. The Most High has been watching silently for long enough. The time for exposure has arrived. You may not have proof, but you do have perception. And perception is frequently the first indication of prophecy. Heaven is confirming what your heart already knows. Those who smiled in your face but scoffed behind your back, their time in your circle is up. The masks are slipping. The silence is breaking. You were never meant to walk into the next chapter blindly. You were supposed to rise with your eyes wide open. Archangel Michael has not arrived as a gentle visitor. He has been dispatched as a divine warrior. He's not standing by, he's fighting alongside you. Even now, angelic hosts are moving, severing soul ties, breaking spiritual contracts formed through manipulation, and scattering the lies that bound you. Every hidden agenda, every whisper made in the dark, every false promise disguised as affection, it's all being exposed. Not to shame or harm you, but to set you free. Your name has been brought before heaven's courts. The ache in your chest, the confusion that obscured your clarity, the weariness in your soul, it was all seen, heard, and held. The divine response is this revelation. Not delayed. Not gentle. But it's immediate and undeniable. Because your fate can no longer afford to be entangled in deception. You are designed for more truth, peace, and power. And that starts right now. This is more than just exposure. There's an exodus underway. You're stepping out of hidden chains and into holy clarity. I am stretching the walls of your understanding and widening the gate of your spirit. What you once thought was just spiritual theory will now be demonstrated in real life. The fog that has obscured your spiritual senses is lifting. And I'm sharpening your perception like a blade drawn through fire. You are being tuned into divine frequencies, sounds and signals from the unseen realm that were previously too subtle for your soul to detect. But now, your spirit will pick up on what others miss. The veil is thinning, and the atmosphere around you is changing. You'll start to feel heaven brushing against earth, and your awareness will expand like morning light breaking through a heavy sky. I'm inviting you to deeper levels of divine strategy, sacred assignments, and heavenly encounters. Thrones and councils, mantles and mysteries long reserved for those whose hearts burn for me rather than fame. This is a visual recalibration. I'm awakening the seers, not a few, but many. An anointing is falling like rain on generations, tearing open the skies above homes, schools, cities, and nations. Children will have dreams involving divine symbols. The elders will speak with ancient clarity. Heaven's language will be expressed in colors, numbers, melodies, and movement, rather than just words. Dreams will contain blueprints. Visions will contain warnings. Silence will carry weight. This is the holy hour. And I'm responding to my people's deep hunger. Where religion failed to feed, desperation bred intimacy. And now I'm pouring out revelations. I am raising torchbearers in every nation, those who not only speak, but also carry the voice of heaven with unmistakable clarity. Prophets and artisans will emerge side by side. Painters will receive visions mid-stroke. Musicians will hear frequencies that promote healing. Writers will create sentences that cause awakenings. Movement, dance, gesture, breath will transform into prayer, warfare, and intercession. Creativity is no longer ornamental. It's becoming a weapon, a tool, and a portal. I'm combining the prophetic and the artistic, developing new blueprints and languages that contain the DNA of divine presence. This is not an imitation. It is inspired by revelation. And those who create under this mantle will do more than just influence culture, they will change atmospheres and unlock destiny. Prepare yourself. Stretch your capacity. Don't cling to the familiar, because I'm not going to repeat the past. I am giving birth to the unprecedented. Those who yield will be pioneers. Those who surrender will soar. And just as this outpouring begins, I must reveal something important. There is a presence near you, someone whose influence has not been pure. This is more than just a strained relationship, it's intentional sabotage. They were sent not only to break your heart, but also to prevent you from completing your mission. This is more than betrayal, it's a spiritual assignment of confusion designed to dilute your focus, tether your discernment, and trap you in a pattern you were born to disrupt. That unease you've been experiencing, that weight you couldn't put your finger on, was not your imagination. It was spiritual interference. And now I'm exposing it. This is your moment of clarity. Heaven has sounded the alarm. This is not a delay in your destiny. It is a divine override. What was previously concealed is now exposed. Their words, motives, and alignment are all documented in the courts of heaven. And now I'm showing you what I've already seen. You will not enter your next life with chains hidden in your soul. You will not carry burdens that were not yours to bear. This is where the interruption ends. The delay is over now. I am regaining momentum. What was stuck will move. What was clouded will be clear. Whatever was twisted will be straightened. Not to punish, but to prepare you. Not to expose shame, but to reveal the truth, which will set you free. For your calling is too sacred to be entangled in. Your future is too important to postpone. I'm not just lifting the veil. I'm removing a weight. The mask is slipping, and heaven is drawing back the curtain. What was once hidden in the shadows is now emerging into the light. You are not imagining it. What your spirit has sensed is real. They moved quietly, watched closely, and pretended well, but jealousy cannot remain silent indefinitely. Their support was selective. Their words are carefully crafted. But energy never lied. They were not sent to accompany you, they were sent to stall you. And now, God is intervening. The fog they created is dissipating. The time that was drained is being restored. The heaviness that clung to your progress is breaking free. You're no longer walking blindly. You are moving forward with clarity, discernment, and a guarded heart. Because this was never solely about the relationship. This was a battle over your calling. And heaven just said, "You win." They wanted your glow but not your grit. They watched your blessings and hoped you'd collapse under the weight of them. But God reveals what they planned in whispers with thunder. Their words will come back to you, a slip-up, a message, or a confession. They will be unable to hide anymore. You won't need to look for proof. The truth will find you. Because those who fought for you in spirit, those you loved and who now sit in glory, have pleaded for your safety. Their cries reached the throne. And God replied, "This isn't fear talking. It is foresight. Pay attention to patterns. Trust the unease." Within 72 hours, confirmation will arrive, not loudly, but unmistakably. A look. A tone. A dream you can't shake. When it happens, remember that it is not your responsibility to fix them. It is your responsibility to secure your future. Take a step back and strategize. Walk away silently. This is not the time to explain yourself to those who have already chosen to misunderstand you. Don't waste your voice defending your spirit to people who were only close enough to observe your steps rather than support your journey. God is flipping the entire table, not just pulling your seat. What was constructed on lies is crumbling. What appeared to be love is being stripped of its disguise. The counterfeit is being destroyed, not because you confronted them, but because heaven has intervened. Archangel Michael has drawn a line. He's posted at the crossroads of your life. Anything not sent by God is being escorted out. You do not need to shout, fight, or prove anything. Simply stand still and watch the divine disruption unfold. Their influence, once subtle and strategic, is now weakening by the hour. Every fake compliment, calculated question, and hidden agenda is unraveling. Their presence obstructed your blessings because they did not align with your destiny. However, the blockage is being lifted. What they attempted to delay is now accelerating. Watch what happens when you no longer bear the burden of their spiritual interference. Doors that were closed will swing open. Connections that previously felt strained will now feel sacred. Peace, the kind you've been praying for, has finally entered the room that they once polluted. This is not simply a removal. It's a release into something bigger. And let it be clear to the one who plotted behind your back, you came up against God's plan, not just a person's. You touched someone who was covered. You attempted to dismantle what heaven had already sealed. But now, the mask you used to deceive is becoming the mirror that reveals you. Your intentions are becoming clear. Your deception is spreading far and wide. You can confess or be exposed. In any case, the truth is becoming more apparent. This is not about vengeance. This is about divine justice. The time for pretending is over. You, child of God, are not leaving in defeat. You are growing in discernment. You aren't losing anyone. You're gaining clarity. This is your divine turning point. This is your break from the cycle of confusion and compromise. What felt like heartbreak will soon be viewed as heaven's rescue. You're being repositioned, realigned, and restored. Not everybody will understand. But that is not your burden to bear. Release. Reset. Rise. What lies ahead is sacred, sealed, and protected. Amen.